Hey, what's up everybody? It is Kellen here from Starter Systems, and welcome to another MX vs ATV Reflex custom track gameplay video, where today we are going to be playing the Barn MX by Hyper Borea 681, and this is on slot 6. I already passed that. Now here we are. I'm going to do 5 laps, because the first lap I don't think counts, but I could be wrong. And just before I get too deep into the video, he just wanted to say thanks to a bunch of people for betaing this track, and Dark Slides for making the barn, the plants, the bump models, and a bunch of other items. So yeah, kudos to all of those people for helping out, and kudos to Hyper Borea 681 for making this sweet track, which I've already put about like 8 or so laps into, just trying to get the flow for things. This track has a lot of big jumps, and he even says that in his post, that this track has huge jumps, and that he started with like a base of, I think, a real track of some sort. I don't remember which one he was talking about, but then he just decided to go crazy and build a big, very unrealistic track, which is fine. I mean, this is, you know, it's a video game. Let's have a little bit of fun while we're at it. And despite the fact that I'm not good at this game, I still think that this track is very fun. And even for someone as noobish as me, this track is pretty easy to learn, as long as you are able to carry your momentum and stuff like that. The big jumps are not like terribly hard to get over. Some of them I feel like I need the whip glitch to get completely over. And I'm saying that kind of a cheek and tongue thing, because I'm not very good at the whip glitch anyway, so it doesn't super matter, because I'm pretty sure you could get over it with just the raw speed anyway, but I feel like I need to throw a little bit of a whip glitch in there anyway to get over it, and I'll show you what jumps those are. But for the most part, the rest of the track, except for those few jumps that you have to carry a lot of momentum, is really fun and well worth the download to play, in my opinion, of course. If you're a Reflex fanatic that likes when people do the more realistic stuff, this track's probably not up your alley, just because it is, you know, on the little bit more oversized scaling and whatnot, but it's still a fun track whether or not you like the big stuff or not. I would still recommend playing it, but this jump I have a few troubles with. Most of the time I can get right over it, but you can see I have to give it a little bit of the whip glitch tuck. And then I usually have to go outside in this corner here and get over this little thing smoothly, because this finish line tabletop is really big, and yeah, even with a little bit of a whip glitch there, which again I'm not good at, I make it look really bad, and I just try to do what I can to get the bike to lurch forward, and I'm still not good at it. I've been learning for years and still can't perfect it, but I mean, like I said, other than that, all the other aspects of this track are super fun and very, very playable. You're gonna need a 450 to do most of this stuff, I would say. Could probably get away with a 252 stroke, and then the really good players could probably do everything no problem on a 250F. But other than that, you really need to have the speed and the power to carry your momentum around the track. Otherwise, you're just not gonna clear the jumps, and it's just not gonna be a fun time. But I'm not trying to bitch about it. I really am just honestly putting out the thoughts that come to my head, which brings up a little bit of a talking point, because I got thrown under the bus big time by just a couple of people. There wasn't really like a whole community slandering any shape, form, or whatever. But I did a Glendale Supercross track review a few weeks ago on C4 Detonator's Glendale track, and I mean, I went back and watched the video a few times, and during no point did I feel like I kind of stepped over the boundaries, if you will, of a track review. And at no point have I made any bones about the fact that I do track reviews just to talk about the track. If I was doing that, I would talk about the track for 3 minutes and show 1 lap and then stop, but this is more of a gameplay channel, so we like to show multiple laps and lines and all that stuff like that. So for those people that were frustrated with me, I'm sorry you felt that way, but if you don't like the video, you don't have to watch it. I'm not miffed if you don't watch it. I was a little bit miffed about some of the very slanderous words used against me, in terms of all I said was that I thought that C4 Detonator's tabletops and his on-off sections weren't the best, which is just an opinion. It's probably my shit reflex playing abilities. I don't mean to throw him under the bus with that. I still think C4 is a great track builder, and I'm super happy that he still contributes to the community because he does do great stuff, and I don't think that he should take everything into consideration that I have to say or anything like that. Some of the hate seemed to have come from the fact that I didn't do a track review soon enough, but the purpose of the track reviews that we do on this channel is basically just because we really like the track and we've been playing it at some point in the past, you know, since whenever it's been released until we do the video. And so we want to show it off because, I mean, we're not like a huge channel, but we have a fairly good following. And so anybody that watches our videos, if they want to download the track, we want to show them tracks that they should download and not just every track and their mother that isn't the best track in the game that wouldn't be worth their while to download. So it's the same exact thing with our track walk series in MX Simulator 2. We don't usually play tracks that we personally don't like unless it's just, you know, like an AMA track, for example, that is on the schedule and it's part of the RF stuff and we do all that stuff anyway. We may not like the track, but we'll still talk about it. In this particular case, because there isn't like a super in-depth organized racing series in Reflex, there is supposedly a possibility that that will happen. But as of this year, like the Supercross tracks kind of came out sporadically, and Glendale was released in a couple months ago now, so it must have been like August or something like that. So I just, you know, I did it as a strict custom track review and gave my honest feedback about the track. And as I said, I'm sorry that they felt inclined to toss the hate my way. Personally, I don't really mind the hate, honestly. If you're gonna hate, that's fine. I just don't super like the slanderous words that were used. But, you know, I always felt that if you have haters, it means that you're doing something right and somebody else is not happy or jealous or whatever. I don't think that C4 is jealous. I don't think that the other people that were commenting are jealous. I think that they were just honestly miffed about a few things that I said, which again, not trying to hate. Just trying to appreciate the tracks that you guys are talking about and building and all that stuff like that. So that's all I'm going to say about it. You guys can take that for what it's worth. If you still hate me, that's fine. You know what? Because there's a lot of other things that are great about life, and one of them doesn't have to be liking and, you know, getting along with every single person. You have your opinions, I'll have mine. But to my point about that, there's a lot of hate, I feel like, coming around that I wasn't doing like a track review, and that's why I wanted to at the beginning of this video actually talk about the track and review it instead of just, you know, going off on some different tangent, which is what I've always done in videos. It's never like that's never been the case where I talk about the track in depth and then go off on a tangent. I always go off on my own tangents, and I feel like that's part of the reason why some people like this channel, because they like to hear this, you know, the stories I have or whatever. But, you know, if you don't, that's fine. I just, you know, it's something that I've always done. But I would like to actively, you know, make a point about why I like this track, or why maybe I don't like some things on this track. And I love this track. I think this is a super fun track. I've played Hyperborea's tracks before. And the tracks that we have reviewed, I can't remember exactly the tracks that we have, but I know we have at one point. I've definitely liked his tracks, and I like this track. And I like every track so far that we've done for a Reflex review. If I don't like the track, we're not doing it for a review, period. So, again, take that for what it is worth. You don't have to like everything I say. Just please keep the kind of hurtful, slanderous words that you guys like to throw out into the kitchen. No business being on our channel using spiteful words. But to the point of this track, I think that one thing I want to say is I do like the environment to this track. There is a free ride version, I believe, of this track, which I'll just stop right here and point out. There's like a couple hills and stuff over there, and then there's a barn, and it looks like you can jump over that. I don't have the freeload version, so free ride version, so I'm not going to do those jumps today, but I'm pretty sure it's available somewhere. I will link the stuff available in the description below. So if you want to play this track, it's always going to be in the description, and all the stuff that I'm wearing to the Honda, which I talked about in the last video, and the Fox gear, and the various helmets, excuse me, made by a bunch of different creators. Those will all be in the description too. So if you want to use those at any point, you know, they're available. That's why I'm using them. That's why I'm showing them off. And I like the environment to this track though. It feels fun and it looks nice too. There's lots of different cool sections about it that are unique to it. This is, I can't tell if this is supposed to be sand or not. It doesn't feel like the track deforms all that differently than the dirt sections. It's just, it looks different. You know, it's got a sandy texture. So it might hold us back a little bit while we're moving, but I think it's just dirt with a sandy texture over, or a sandy, I don't know. It's called textures in Sim, but I feel like I'll just get it wrong if I mention textures or something in Reflex. But either way, fun track, great track in general. Good job, Hyperborea. Download this track in the description if you want it. And again, sorry for the hurtful comments that I may have made to anybody in the last video. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please like it and, you know, hit us up with your comments and questions and concerns and all that business. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Most importantly, download this track and have some fun. Thanks for watching. Kellen here on Starry Systems. So long for now.